folks. I decided to have to mill some square stock, or machine some square stock, so I took my 3-jaw chuck off for the first time, which was absolutely no issue whatsoever. It was pretty easy. Undo the nuts, and it pops right off the spindle here. I've heard a lot of people talking about how hard it is to get these things on. I didn't really realize it until I tried to put my 4-jaw chuck on. This is the way I think it's going to happen. The problem here is with these mini lathes, there just isn't enough room back here to get your fingers in. Mine don't fit, period. Anyway, the way I'm going to do it is, first of all, I have to sacrifice an Allen key. I cut it off so it's really short, and of course you have to clean up the edges so it does fit into the Allen screw, or machine screw. Yeah, just like that. First thing you have to do is measure to see how far, or measure the distance between the outside of the faceplate and the inside of the screw when you're holding it in there. I determined that that was far bigger than I could afford to leave this little leg on the hex key or Allen key. So I made it short enough that it would actually fit in here and hopefully get around the nut, or get around the protrusion of the screw, which I left long enough to fit through the faceplate and with just enough protruding that I can make full use of the threads when I tighten up the nut. Okay, next thing is I need a third hand. This will be my third hand. Hopefully it'll work. Let's give it a try. Let's put this in first and just hold it in. Hopefully it won't fall out on me. Oh, no, it's not quite right. More room there. Okay, that's good for starters. Next, what I'm going to do is actually put the nut on the Allen key and try to get it in there into the actual screw. That's not it. There we go, now it's in. The Allen key will keep the screw from threading into the chuck as I tighten the nut, which is what I found my biggest problem was. You can't bottom the screw out into the chuck, because if you do that, you're not going to have anything left for the nut to grab. Okay, that's not quite right. Don't want to cross thread it. Whoa. That was close. I just started to thread it on there when the clamp came loose. There we go. There's one. Now we'll do the rest with the same. Okay, now I've got all 4 nuts on there. I guess you can't see it from that angle, but trust me, they are on. Now I'm going to use this Allen key to hold the machine screw to keep it from turning as I tighten these down. That should be a pretty simple task. There's one. And go to the opposite side, just like you do when you're tightening the lug nuts on the car wheel. That's in there. Two. 3. and before. There you go. It's all tightened down. Be a lot easier if the manufacturer gave you just another 1/4 inch of room back here, but they don't. And apparently these lathes, regardless of what the actual name that's stamped on them is, most of them come from a company called SIG in China. And they're all really identical other than cosmetics. This one I got from Busy Bee. It's actually kind of a nice lathe. I've been using it already. Done a few things with it. Now, like I said, I've got a machine or mill some square stock, so I needed a 4-jaw chuck in order to do that. And it's been operating very, very well. Accuracy isn't really that much of a concern. I mean, it isn't the machine, it's all in the measuring tools. You can always move the crossflight in another half a thou to get that accuracy that you need. Overall, it's a pretty good machine. My only complaint in it is trying to get one of these chucks on is a miserable endeavor, but if you sacrifice an Allen key, it makes life a lot easier. Anyway, hope that helps, folks. Take care.